This is an interesting day for me. I'm very excited about this one, as we are joined by a man who has tortured Wolf.
Yes.
So I like him already, and a man who I've listened to very, very much on the radio a lot, Reverend Bob Levy.
Bob,
how are you guys?
How are you, my man?
Miss you, Bob. I haven't tortured you in so long. It's like it's almost like we were married.
Yeah, and I miss you waking up next to me.
What?
What? I mean, yeah, those days were fun too.
Yeah, but, then we had to go back to our our old selves. But now Bob is a huge sport fan.
Okay.
Yeah. I love sports, but I don't like what happens to it. You know what I mean? What's happening to sports today is horrible. I mean, baseball, the catcher can't even block the plate anymore. I mean, how safe is baseball? That's got to be the safest sport out of all of them. Am I right?
I would think, yeah, right? I mean, you don't intentionally hit people unless they crowd the plate or show off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even when I was a catcher, I blocked the plate, I had a feeling that somebody might try to knock me over, and I would be ready for that. I mean, look, if that ends my season, I might as well take up hopscotch because it's ridiculous what happened to it. It's the way this whole country has turned. Football, everybody is like, oh, I wouldn't let my kid play football, after they made, $50 million, $100 million. But the whole thing is that all they have to do with football to bring back the fun, the kickoff of the game is the greatest part of the game. When the crowd would go, and now they kick it off and you hit a roar and it goes into the 20th row and knocks over some fat kid. Okay? So you're taking that out of the game because of the fact that you're playing in domes. You're not playing outside in the element like they used to. And that gives the people speed. You cannot build up speed in rain. You cannot build it up in snow. You have to bring, football back to the way it was, where bring the rules back and put everybody outside. We don't care if your wife is cold. Let her stay home and let a real fan go to the game.
Which is probably better for you anyway.
It is. It's less injuries, because like when you're on artificial turf, and you can pick up speed like unbelievable. And of course, you're going to get hit, and it might hurt you. But look, you signed up for this.
Yeah.
If somebody said, "I'll give you $100 million," and you one day, might think your name is Mary, I would still sign up for it.
Well, yeah, it's not one day though. I mean, there was a report the other day, Bob, that 40% of players in the NFL are suffering some form of brain injury.
Yeah, so am I. But I never played. I'm not a pro, but I'm definitely mental. But what's the big deal about it? It's football, MMA. Nobody's crying about that. That is more violent than anything.
I guess the issue though is they hit it though, Bob. Like if they hadn't hit it, I'm on your side. But they hit it.
Yeah, but the whole thing is that, you know what I mean? You cannot change. Look, if you sign up to play something, you know what I mean? If you sign up for war or whatever, you go out and give it your all. And that's it. It's not like, what are they going to do? Put them in them big, puffy, sumo wrestling outfits that you see at parties and people wrestle each other so they don't get hurt? If people get hurt, it's football,
I agree with you. The point that Levack has made before is that we're talking about a lot of money now.
Yeah.
A lot of money. So these guys are thinking, I get hurt. There goes, especially if they're young, these, millions and millions of dollars.
Future earnings.
They would have made.
But that's life. You know what I mean?
I agree with you.
Life.
Yeah, I think that it's been it's been a little bit, let me see if I can select the right word. It's been a little bit made babyish. A little bit.
A little bit. I can't even watch it anymore.
Well,
what
else bothers you?
I'd rather watch, kids play that are 12 years old than this. And everything's a flag. What happens now, the refs think they have so much power now. And they don't even see some of the plays. if it looks like a penalty, they'll throw a flag. It's like basketball. They think that maybe somebody hit his wrist, but then you look at the replay and he had all ball. You understand?
Yep.
You can't let the refs take over everything. You got to let them play. They let them play. I mean, who was it? Was it Dick Buckus that was biting people's fingers off on the bottom of the piles? You know what I mean?
Those were the days.
Those were the days. I used to watch Mike Curtis play.
Right.
On the Baltimore Colts and that. I mean, these people are animals. They're made to be. They're athletes. They're so good at it that's why they're playing. And I would say if you talk to most of them, 95% of them are saying, "Hey, man, this is what happens."
But you got to think about it, Rev, that when you look at nowadays, we've got these giant walls that are TVs and high definition, and we can see it all. Back then, you're biting fingers off. It's on a 13-inch black and white TV. It looks like a good tackle.
Well, yeah, let's go back to black and white TV. Everybody doesn't need a big TV. It's the damn replays, It's killing us. But the refs are horrible. They don't. When you got to have a group meeting on the field for 10 to 5, anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes about a play, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, if you're on the field and the refs are meeting and they call for a plate of Danish and coffee, you know that it's going a little long.
Yeah, it's too much. It really is too much. What happened to the kickoff returner guy? His career that went from making, that would be a high draft pick. Remember like the guy in Chicago? He knew when he got a kickoff, he was taken off. But now there's no reason for it. You can put me there and Bob back there and kick the ball off.
With a fishing net and just, maybe get a hold of it.
Yeah. You should be able to play the ball off the fat kid's head if it hits it and comes back in the field.
Reverend Bob Levy on 104.5 The Team, your home for New York sports. But like they say that's the most dangerous play in football is the kickoff return, and that's like kind of the thing feels like, all right, if we get rid of that, maybe the politically correct police will leave us alone about the rest of it for a little bit.
Yeah, but what do they have nothing to do with anything. You know what I mean? I don't go to your job and say, let's complain about this tomorrow. Let's complain. All they want to do is complain about everything. Just because you got no talent and you're just a little crying bitch, shut your mouth and let real men play and women play and stop making the rules that, changing the rules that made the game great to begin with.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think it has got...
It's sickening to watch a game,
It's the
especially my wife's a Cleveland fan, so I got to watch that crap.
Oh, how did that happen?
I don't know. I should have asked her what's your team after we got married before or something. I don't know.
Well, they say nobody's perfect. She must be fantastic everywhere else.
Yeah, but she knows sports. She got on here. You get her on here one day. When she gets home early, she'll talk to basketball. She knows more about basketball than anybody. We watch basketball all the time, and we're looking forward to, the playoffs are going to be great. And, it's just Golden State. You never seen a team like that, but it never been a team like that shot 3 points. You know what I mean? Yep. Look at the years back when you had Larry Bird and teams like that. And they weren't just chucking threes all day. They were elbowing each other in the face and going to the basket.
Yeah, well, the game has changed a lot. I mean, even from Michael Jordan's day, we were talking about comparisons.
You can't even hand check anymore.
Yeah, so they've really, and especially in the NBA, have softened that up a ton. Listen, I love talking to you, Bob. I want to get you back on again. What do you got to plug? Plug your website.
Yeah, where are you at? I know everybody here would love to see you.
Yeah.
You know what? I am going to come back out. Yeah, I'm working with the veterans now. So I'll tell you guys more about it off the phone, so you know what I'm talking about. But I'm definitely coming up there. I loved it up there. We were like the Beatles up there, and I really missed it. It was such a great town.
I was just telling Jeff about the time that you talked me into putting a tarantula down my pants.
Well, there was nothing else there, so I figured we needed something.
Reverend Bob Levy. Reverend, thanks very much, Bob. We'll talk to you again really soon, and check him out. Bob, what's your website again?
RevBobLevy.com, but follow me on Twitter at the RevBobLevy, and I'll even follow you back because I'm a nice fella.
Look at you. Thank you, Rev.
We'll see you next week.